night. And when you do that, you can have disappearing drusen. Here's a OCT, and I know that on Demio we can't see the pointer, but the one above is September 29th, and you can see the drusen. And I hit this patient pretty hard with LifePak. I had them on their AREDS formula, full retina support, and lutein, zeaxanthin. And if you look in the picture down below, and it's the same cut. There's no tricks with photography here. The drusens start to disappear. I saw this patient in June. I have her coming back in 6 months. I can't wait to see her in December. I'm hoping that the drusen are further resolved. So, in optometry, we're used to refracting and measuring, fitting with glasses and contacts and checking the acuity. In glaucoma, we check the pressure, we put them on glaucoma meds, and we lower the eye, and we check to see if the meds are working. Well, I have 9 out of 10 patients that come in, they're on a nutraceutical, and I just do exactly or a vitamin, I do exactly what Steven said. How do you know they're working? I put their hand on the scanner. Sometimes they might get to 30,000. Sometimes I might get surprised if they have a good diet. But you have these people spending money and they're not able to, even get into, the yellow range, which will make sense when we start looking at the score here and how the scanner prints out. So we have this opportunity within optometry, right? And if you look, we started with glasses and contacts and moved into pharmaceuticals, some really fancy instruments. Some states are able to do lasers, and this is something that we can do now. We can really help. We can be like an integrative optometrist here, using allopathic medicine, using some nutraceuticals, and doing complementary medicine here with patients. The cool thing I like about the biophotonic scanner, it was not developed by Pharmanex to kind of prove their nutraceuticals. It was developed by the National Institutes of Health. The first thing they wanted to study was carotenoids and macular degeneration. The second thing they did was cancer, and it's still used today for research. It's just that Pharmanex bought the global rights, and they're able to use it to prove that their pharmaceutical grade, Pharmanex, pharmacy, the next generation, that their nutraceuticals are high quality. And I'm telling you, I've launched a lot of equipment over the years, OCTs and visual fields, and the list goes on. We're in the early majority here, and this is fun to be out helping my colleagues understand this technology. I think most of you know that I'm an ocular disease guy. I've talked about spectral domains, OCT angiography, visual fields, learning how to interpret it for macular degeneration, glaucoma, and retinal degenerations. Been working with Maculogics and their dark adaptation. But I'll tell you what, when my patients about 3 or 4 years ago said, "Doc, we need help. I'm going to the store. I know I should be doing something." I started looking. It was like unearthing a tree. And then luckily I ran into Trevor Crabtree. He told me to check out this Pharmanex. I went out, checked out the company, 75 scientists, 13 disciplines represented. I could not find any other nutraceutical company that even has maybe even one scientist. They just kind of throw something together and market it. This has 13 disciplines, 75 scientists. And what this has made me very comfortable doing is not worried about the safety and not worrying about the word of product. Are they getting the product? And it now has taken me from an ocular disease optometrist to an integrative optometrist. So here's a problem. Someone sent this to me because I knew I was researching this. It takes 21 oranges of today to make a orange of 1950. The great equalizer is supposed to be our fruits and vegetables. How many fruits and vegetables do we eat? And then what's the quality of the fruits and vegetables? Now, nutritional antioxidants, a part of that are carotenoids, and that's what the scanner scans, but it's this whole network that's needed. And we get these we have to eat them. Our body can't create them. The well-known ones are vitamin C, E, beta-carotene, lutein, zeaxanthin. You're going to hear me talk a lot about quercetin and resveratrol because they hang out in the outer retina. And we know what these antioxidants are supposed to do. They're neutralize free radicals and they repair cell membranes, oxidative membranes. They absorb these oxidative species. Now, if you look at this chart here, there are endogenous antioxidants, but the exogenous are the ones that we are familiar with from our fruits and vegetables. A through K, beta carotene, the polyphenols, the flavonoids, quercetin, resveratrol. Carotenoids, now going back to what the scanner does, there are 600 carotenoids in nature, 50 in the human food chain. There are 15 to 20 that are in the human blood. Now, I am not poo-pooing the importance of lutein and zeaxanthin in the macula. It is extremely important for night vision. It's extremely important for contrast sensitivity. It does sequester some of the blue light and the free radicals, but it's not protecting the whole retina. It's not protecting the trabecular meshwork. It's not protecting the crystalline lens. Other antioxidants are out there. So carotenoids are extremely important along with all the other polyphenols. Now, I write for Review of Optometry. I get asked to write in optometric management and optometric times. But I'm going to show you, if we step outside of optometry and just look at the annual review of nutrition, the first line here, it says assessment of carotenoids. Carotenoids appear to play a key role in disease. And then if you move down to the next line that I have highlighted, it says the measurement of carotenoids can impact clinical practice, and the evaluation of macular pigment may become an integral part of the comprehensive ophthalmological care. Then it goes down and talking about using RRS, which is Raman resonance spectroscopy, to measure which is the scanner of the hand. Now, take a look at this. This is marked, trying to connect the dots. This is marked oxidative cellular damage. When you look at this retina here, you can look at the outer retina, the RPE, seeing all the bumps. And then I think we're all familiar with the photoreceptor integrity line. We're familiar with, it's now called the ellipsoid zone. It's that hyper-reflective line right above the RPE. Why does it hyper-reflect? I did some digging because I do a lot of speaking in OCT. Why did they change it to the ellipsoid zone? Why does it hyperfluoresce? It's the mitochondria. I don't call it the ellipsoid zone. When I lecture, I call that the mitochondria line. And I think we all know how important the mitochondria are. Look at how sick this retina is here. And if we think in number one, we're just going to treat that whole retina by doing some macular pigment, we need something that is full scope here, full eye, full retina. The retina is a metabolic engine. It's constantly working. It's burning out. And if we think we're just going to go in there and just replace with some lutein and zeaxanthin, I think we're fooling ourselves now. How about this one here? This is oxidative cellular damage. There's drusen here. I measured them for you. They're 65 microns. They're not intermediate. So you're really not supposed to do anything, right? A lot of my colleagues would say it's controversial what to do. Well, it's controversial maybe to do AREDs and all that high zinc and all that high vitamin C and E and all the stuff that's in AREDs too, that super high vitamins. But what about just a nice combination of what's in LifePak that we'll talk about to treat this whole retina with vitamins, essential minerals, and then the inner and outer retina with the carotenoids and the polyphenols. So it's a better strategy for both of these to get something that's over here and two to be full retina, which is then full eye. And we'll talk about that, because what about the trabecular meshwork, right? Glaucoma is an oxidative disease. And you can see here, this is from the slide deck of ARI. It's showing trabecular meshwork on the left side here, perfectly healthy. Look at and this is what ARI did. Look, cellular damage, oxidative stress causes stiffness and then elevated IOP. Think about you treating the trabecular meshwork with some antioxidants. It's out there. It's in the literature, along with using allopathic medicine of those IOP lowering, now folding in. Lutein and zeaxanthin isn't going to treat the trabecular meshwork. But you can get away with an instrument that is very complex, but very simple to do in the office. And it's the biophotonic scanner using resonant Raman spectroscopy to measure. Here's an ARVO study, and this is the big research side of ophthalmology, basically saying down here in the bottom right, the objective hand scanner, this is from 2016, is better than the list here. They list all the MPOD devices that are out there. Measuring the hand is equivalent to what's in the blood to what's in the macular pigment that's out there. And it's been proven hundreds of times. The naysayers out there, they keep challenging it, and it keeps coming back that it's what's in the hand, which is a 60-day measure, is the same that's in the blood, that's the same that's in the macula. And again, it's the new standard developed by the National Institutes of Health. It's quick, 30 seconds, cost effective. Let me just do a really quick one here. Let's get outside of macular degeneration, but how about a macular degeneration suspect? Here's a 53-year-old man. Dad has 43 injections, pre-diabetes with a borderline hemoglobin A1C, vision's 20/20. I dilate him, the retina's clear. I do an OCT, totally normal, nothing building up. I even have the maculogics unit, passes dark adaptation. Do we just say to the patient, okay, that's it? Do we say, well, there's this thing out there that treats the macula, it's got lutein and zeaxanthin in it. You know what? I said, let's scan you. This person scanned at 26,000. Now, I know you can't see my pointer, but that's about halfway through the orange. Red is a failure. Orange is a D. All right. So I said, look, if you knew what I knew about carotenoids, polyphenols, and flavonoids, we definitely want to get your number up. So he said, all right, doc, I'm all in. I don't want 43 injections. And I know nutraceuticals. Tell me what you got. So we put the patient on LifePak. Here's LifePak, all the vitamins, all the essential minerals. And then if you go over to the right-hand side, and I don't know, go about 2/3 up, you'll see polyphenol flavonoid blend, catechins, quercetin, outer retina, resveratrol, outer retina, alpha lipoic acid, all throughout the retina, carotenoid blend, inner retina. Now I'm treating the mitochondria, the photoreceptors, the inner retina, the outer retina, the full retina, and giving the patient a full retina, full eye support. The patient wanted a little bit more. So I said, all right, we can do some age lock youth. This has some epigenetics out there. Another fun fact out there for those listening. You know how they say pick your parents wisely? How much do you think that means in the genetic world out there? It only means 8%. All right. 8% of what happens in your lifetimes comes from that DNA. It's the epigenetics, our lifestyle, 92%. So pick your parents wisely is only 8%. It's now what we do through our lifestyle. And so I put this patient on an age lock youth, has worked with the epigenetics of aging, but it has some other antioxidants in here. And we were able to then raise this patient up to 33,000. That's the yellow. And then eventually in about a month's time into 47,000. Now we've stacked the deck in his favor. We're helping to protect him. These epigenetics, if he even has the risk alleles, now we're stopping that gun from being triggered, and that bullet from being shot out of that gun. So that's why you can do things like get drusen disappearing whenever you treat the whole retina rather than just relying on lutein and zeaxanthin. So which strategy is better? You just want to protect the macula with lutein, zeaxanthin, or do you want to go with a full retina? And I talk about full eye support with the side effect down below. You know what? It's also going to help the rest of your body too with some of these diseases that are oxidatively stressed.